Skyrim VR on an RTX 3080 at 120 FPS? Let's take a look.
Immersed robot.
Starting from a midpoint game save, I made a short test initially just to see how things run. I had my super sampling set to 224%, which is a pretty high setting and probably overkill when considering the diminishing returns over 200%. The frame rate in this section was generally solid, and I was able to maintain 120 FPS for the most part. Moving to another area, frame rate was far less reliable, and I decided to lower my level of super sampling down to 150%, which is my base level for most games. Skyrim, like Fallout 4, requires that you completely restart the game to activate the new super sampling setting. I decided to lower it down here. When I went back into the game, things seemed far more stable. It felt rock solid in the headset in spite of FPS VR showing occasional dips below 120 FPS. You can see my in-game settings here. I generally set everything to the highest level, apart from in-game super sampling, as I tend to control this through Steam VR. I disable temporal anti-aliasing as that makes the game look far more blurry in my opinion. Item fade and object fade are also reduced slightly. By the way, Skyrim's physics and actions are linked to frame rate in strange ways, therefore in order to go beyond the standard 90Hz setting, you need to edit the Skyrim.ini file with these additions. This will alter the frame timings on which the game is built on, and if you find things glitching when running the game at higher frame rates, then this should help. I'll provide a link for changing this in the description of this video. I went to Whiterun, a more built-up area next, and still managed to keep a pretty solid 120 FPS.
Come on in. We got warm food.
Interiors ran extremely well and looked fantastic with this moderate level of super sampling. I do have this game modded, but I only have a few to enhance fidelity slightly, as you can see here.
We'll drive out the storm cloaks and restore what we own. The blood and our steel we will take back our.
I decided to try a more high-end super sampling ratio of 200% and head back into the game. To begin with, things still felt pretty solid, and certainly the game was perfectly playable on this high setting. But when entering Riverwood, I noticed very occasional dips at specific points, so lowered it back down to 150 to test this same area. When jumping back in, the frame rate was slightly more stable, but dips were still certainly present, and the performance hit is probably tied to this particular location. Interiors were once again no problem. Riverwood during the daytime was a similar experience to night. 120 FPS with occasional dips, although these were barely noticeable in the headset. I'm still undecided as to whether I will continue to run this game at 120 Hz or drop it back down to 90 in order to give myself a little headroom. The fact is that Skyrim VR on a high-end PC system at the end of 2020 is an incredibly smooth experience, and by tweaking things slightly with mods, in-game settings and super sampling, you should be able to find a rock-solid frame rate. Different aspects will be more important to different people, but by balancing graphical fidelity, frame rate, and external mods, you can run this game with close to zero issues at this point. Before I go, I should probably mention that the in-game index controller bindings were causing me issues while testing this today. I had successfully tried several bindings and settled on one a few days ago. However, while testing today this binding refused to work, so I experimented with a number of others while recording this video. This remains a small issue for me, and I may try the VRIK mod, which comes with its own Steam VR controller binding to remedy these issues. I just wanted to quickly mention that as a point of issue. Other than that, Skyrim VR remains a truly incredible experience. Well, that's pretty much it for this video. Please hesitantly tap the like button, and if it's not too much of an inconvenience, then please also subscribe to this channel for more VR-focused content. I'll see you all on the flippity flip.